Okay, so now we are on part 4, which is the final part, and before we start, I just want you to remember this over here. Okay, if you are solving for something that is in the denominator, right, the easiest way to get that thing out of the denominator is by just raising it to a -1, because that -1 puts this numerator on top and puts the denominator at the bottom, right? That way you get your variable out of the denominator and you can solve for your equation. So in this case, we have 1 over x equal to 4. Then I raise both sides to the -1, which is just me inverting that fraction. Okay, swapping the top with the bottom and the bottom with the top. And that means that x is equal to, instead of 4 over 1, 1 over 4. Okay, and that is very important for when we work with equations that have cot, cosec, and sec. Okay, now on that note, we are doing equations, and so therefore we must remember Sam Dob. Subtraction and addition first, then we look at multiplication and division, and then finally we will go to the brackets. Okay, so first of all, we got cot theta is a half. We must know that cot is 1 over tan. So that means that this is 1 over tan theta, right, equal to 2. So that is our first step, right? We cannot use cot. There is no cot on your calculator. So you must go ahead and fix that first. And now, using the note that I just directed you to in the beginning, right, we raise both sides to the -1, which I'm going to add immediately in this step. So we go -1. So doing that makes this tan theta over 1, which we can just write as tan theta. So tan theta is equal to, instead of 2 over 1, it will be 1 over 2. Now at this point, this is just another equation that we've done before. So we say that therefore theta, which could have been represented by x, y, or z, theta is going to be, we go to our calculator, we say shift tan 1 over 2, and that answer is 26.57 degrees. So that is our answer, 26.57 degrees. Easy peasy. Okay, so that is number 7 done and dusted. So again, our first step was to fix this and write it as 1 over tan theta, and from there we did the new thing where we raise both sides to a -1, because that allows you to not have tan in the denominator. Okay, and so that is how we get to the very first answer, and you're welcome to check it. But when you do check your answer, you need to use this equation here. Okay, it's not going to work out if you use the original equation, because your calculator does not have cot. Okay, so the next one is cosec, right? So let's have a look at this one. So cosec is 1 over sine. So that is 1 over sine of 2 theta. So it's that entire angle there. So we start off by writing that as 1 over sine 2 theta. Okay, and now at this point, what we do is we raise both sides to the -1 like we did earlier. So we go all of this raised to -1, which is just inverting the fraction, and we do it on the right hand side as well. Okay, remember what this means is that the denominator moves to the top and the numerator moves to the bottom. So now we get sine 2 theta out of the denominator. Okay, and this 9 over 7 now becomes 7 over 9. Okay, that's very important. That fraction is now flipped. So now we have sine 2 theta. We work our way from left to right. So we first get rid of sine by applying the inverse operation. So we say 2 theta is equal to arc sine, which is the sine -1 of the 7 over 9. So now we grab our calculator, we say shift sign 7/9, and we get 51,06. But let's keep a few decimals. So 2 theta is 51,057,5 and some other decimals. And so now finally we divide both sides by 2, so that theta is equal to 25,53 degrees rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is the answer for theta in this case. Easy. Now our last example here is 2 sec theta minus 20, and this is now, I would say, maybe the most difficult example of the bunch that we've done. So we need to be careful here. We are saying 2 multiplied by sec of theta minus 20. So that 2 is like a coefficient, and it's the coefficient of 1 over cosine. Okay, so please be very careful with this one. So we go theta minus 20, right, equal to 3. Lovely. So now at this point, right, on the left hand side you have this fraction. You basically have 2 over cos theta, right? And on the right hand side, if we want to make this a fraction, this would be 3 over 1. So that first step here is very important, because you need to recognize and see that the 2 is in the numerator. Okay, now at this point we of course want to get cos theta minus 20 out of the denominator, so we obviously invert both these fractions. So we raise it to the -1. So let's do that. So now of course the numerator goes to the bottom and the denominator goes to the top, so I'm going to write that down. Okay, so there I wrote down the next step. So now of course we go back to Sambod. So we do subtraction and addition first, but there is no subtraction and addition at this point, right? This fraction is a single term, so subtraction and addition in that bracket, we don't look at it as though it is subtraction or addition. It's in a bracket. Okay, so our next move is to take care of multiplication or division. That would mean that we need to get rid of this 2. Okay, so we need to multiply both sides by 2, so that we end up with cosine theta minus 20, okay, equal to 2/3. If you type on your calculator a third multiplied by 2, you will get 2/3. And now at this point we move from left to right. Remember, Sam Dob, brackets are last. So we get rid of the cosine, so that we have theta minus 20 equal to arc cos multiplied by 2/3, which according to the calculator, let's see, shift cosine 2 over 3. According to the calculator, this is 48,19 degrees. Please double check it on your side. So the theta minus 20 is 48.19 degrees. Okay, and now finally, remember, this bracket was left for last. Okay, and so now that we have theta minus 20, we just add 20 on both sides, so that theta is the previous answer increased by 20 degrees, right? So that would therefore mean that the size of this angle theta is going to be 68.19 degrees. And there we have it. Easy peasy, right? So let's just quickly recap. We need to of course take care of the sec, because we only work with sine, cos and tan. And then you notice that the 2 is in the numerator. Okay, at this point we invert the fraction by raising both of it to -1. That way we can get cos theta minus 20 out of the denominator. Okay, and then from there we just do sum dop and find the solutions to our equations.